And we're back.
Wow.
Yes, we are.
We're here. We made it.
Yep, we sure did.
Another week. Our 12th episode.
12, a baker's dozen.
A baker's dozen.
Just a regular dozen.
Speaking of a baker's dozen, those banana muffins you made earlier, hun.
Yeah.
They were good.
Thanks.
Really enjoyed it.
And for those listening at home, that's not a euphemism. I really did make muffins with my banana.
It was a nice little welcome gift when I got here.
Yeah. Yep, that and the
Banana.
dog farting.
Yep, and the dog farting again.
Always.
And a new studio setup again.
Yep, it's a quintessential part of this podcasting experience.
And God, it's hot in here.
It is hot in here. We'll figure it out one day.
It's humid. The hair's frizzy.
Yeah. Why it's under a hat, kind of.
Why it's under a hat.
Yeah.
But we got a fun episode today, I feel.
We do, in honor of the spring, the humidity, the heat. It's getting there. We're getting to springtime.
We are. It's like 70 out, which, I mean...
It feels like spring, honey. Yeah.
Spring is sprung.
It's March, and you know what March brings?
Madness.
It sure does. Mayhem.
Mayhem.
It really does.
And madness.
Yeah. Which is the theme of this week's ep. Why don't you tell them about it?
Well, we thought it would be fun to do our own little March Madness bracket. And in honor of Snow White and not the Seven Dwarfs, just Snow White.
Just Snow White, thank you very much.
Coming out next week, we thought it would be fun to basically do a bracket of all the live-action Disney movies that have come out so far, and, basically put them against each other and see who comes out on top.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing.
I'm so excited. I think it's going to be fun, and you know what? We got to do something to get hyped for this Snow White.
We got to get a hype. I mean, I sent you the thing earlier today on Twitter that somebody said it actually was, way better than they thought, and they think that it might be some people's favorite live-action, which I mean... I got my doubts, but you never know.
And what did I say?
You said this is going to be a real stinker.
I said I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, I think it's generous. I'm sure all of the live actions are somebody's favorite live actions.
That's true.
So we'll see.
We'll find out.
But
who each of ours is today.
I don't know. I feel like Disney's doing their best to bury this movie from.
They are. I mean, we talked about it a little bit earlier this week, but I think it's just. They're a little nervous about the political aspects of the actors, Gal and
Rachel.
So I think they're just trying to not that they really said anything outrageous or outwardly insensitive, but I think they're just trying to keep it under control.
Yeah. Did you see Variety did a story about how they're doing really limited press attendance for the premieres and everything, so they've been doing only in-house photographers and video teams. They didn't have any external press or anything, which I feel like is crazy and really unfair, honestly, to both of them and the film and everybody else in it and involved with it. But even just colloquially, I was walking around the store and they don't even have merch out for stuff. You know, where are the dolls? Where are the little clothing collabs? I remember when The Little Mermaid came out. All these dolls everywhere, they're still on the shelves, rightfully so.
Behind you.
Indeed. Right? And they had a little clothing collab at Target, they had merch for it all, but I'm just not seeing any of that anywhere right now.
I haven't seen anything. Even on social media, no TikToks of any merch, just nothing.
Yeah, which I feel like is really sad. They did a really minimized press tour. I think they only went to 3 or 4 cities for the premiere of the movie, which I remember for Little Mermaid, they were all around the world, because I was tracking, of course, Halle Bailey's incredible style during the time. She looked great. I mean, I do think they have looked good to this point so far. I feel like Rachel Zegler's been killing it, slaying with her looks. Did you see her performance in Spain? They did performance.
I did see her look at when was the premiere? The last premiere 2 nights ago or last night. Yeah, she looked great. Yeah, she looked gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm not sure who her stylist is, but she does look great. So.
Yeah, the dress was great.
Yeah, I mean she's beautiful.
Simple.
She's also 19 or something. So it's of course, yeah, she looks great. She's very young.
Our Maria.
Yeah. So crazy to me.
That movie.
It's incredible.
It's an incredible movie.
She just went from playing Fiona in her high school production of Shrek to starring in Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. Insane. And now
that
she's
movie really did not get the credit it deserved, honestly.
And this house did.
I mean, yeah.
I loved it.
I saw it in the movies. I don't know if I actually watched it ever after the first time I saw it.
Oh, you should.
I love it.
It's so good.
But I did cry in the movies. It was great.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really well done.
But yeah, I just think, you know, coming off of some of the latest Disney live action not so success, they're just like, I think they're just like holding their breath. They're just like, okay, let's just please get through this. We already committed to it. We just gotta like push through. Maybe it'll be a surprise, maybe not.
It's a hard one to want to do that with because it's Snow White. Like, this is not the one to be holding your breath and hoping that it goes okay.
It's not.
I'm like, you could have done this for, like, I don't know, maybe the, like, Moana one that's coming out or whatever, but, like, Snow White, like, the OG. It's like, oh my god. I don't know. Anyway, Moana, that's a whole other thing we'll get into.
Yeah, we both watched Moana 2 this week.
Oh god.
Well,
2 thumbs way
down. I couldn't even tell you what I watched.
Truly,
I
what
really
was the
don't
plot?
even know what the plot was.
She had to find the island.
She had to find
to connect
the island to connect the people. I think that's it.
That's it.
But I just didn't understand like why the trials that she was going through,
because she had to,
were the trials, and like just like what was the
her
point?
Little merry band of misfits. Why did she even pick it? She wasn't even friends with them. They weren't even her friends. They were just random people from the island.
Right. It was the giant clam when they had to go inside that. I was
the clam.
Very much confused. Like, why is this happening?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt with the first Moana 2. I know people really stan Moana and are like probably gonna come at my throat for this, but like
they are.
The music is great.
Beautiful
but
gowns.
I just don't really get the plot.
Yeah.
I just don't really get it. Maybe that's why like really small children are obsessed with it, and that's why it's like just such a huge hit.
Just like music,
because it's just like
colors.
Music and colors. Oh yeah, people are gonna be pissed about this.
They are, yeah. So they're coming for your neck. It's like me talking smack on Taylor Swift. It's not.
And if you didn't like the first Moana, you're really not gonna like the second.
Truly, honestly, I agree. Like, if unless you have like affinity for Moana and that story and everything,
but
I mean, I couldn't hum one song from it for you. I just
it
sat
sounded
through it
very
last night.
poppy. It was like they were just like putting like pop songs into the movie. Like it did not sound at all like the music from the first one. Like the orchestration was similar to the first one, but like the actual like songs and like the ballads I felt were very like kind of different and weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And they brought back some of the themes a little bit.
They
like
did.
There were some of the like melodies brought back, but not in the like vocals really.
Right.
Like the very, very end, I feel like they brought back the like away.
Yeah, they did bring that back. That's a good song.
We roam. But
I was hoping they'd bring that. Like I love the end of the first Moana. Like that song when she's, you know, conquering Te Fiti and like she sings that beautiful song. Yeah, that was a good part.
No, they didn't have that. And then the character, the woman who I couldn't tell you her name, but I guess she's sort of a villain. She was honestly kind of getting like Meg from Hercules.
That's what I was confused about. Was she a villain? Like, what was her purpose?
Did you see the mid-credits scene?
No.
Oh, you're like, girl, I didn't even make it to the end.
Oh, I didn't. I turned it right off. I was like, okay.
I had it playing in the background, and there was a little mid-credit scene, and it very much is giving like Meg and Hades. Like she's talking to some unnamed bad guy spirit, and she's like, I did my part. I upheld my bargain. What do you want from me?
Yeah.
And he's like, there's more to come. And I was like, oh God, don't give us a third one. I barely made it through the second.
And then, did she have a crush on Maui?
There was a weird part where she like tried to like touch him,
there.
and she was like, "Ooh, sorry, that was awkward." And I just want to go on record. I'm going to look direct to camera and say this. I want to go on record because when the first teaser image of this movie came out a full year and a half ago, I talked about this on my social media because the image they chose the teaser for was her oar that was like signed with the like Maui hook and a heart next to it. And I was like, I wonder what they're trying to say with this. Like, is there some sort of like inference that there's maybe some kind of like more than friendship thing? People jumped down people jumped down my throat and they were like, no, oh my God, she's a child, he's 1,000, whatever. I'm like, okay.
It was
and they're like, he's a god, he's whatever.
It was kind of getting that when she puts her hands like on his chest,
and then she like becomes an immortal god at the end of it too, or whatever. Yeah, so I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Are they not flirting in the movie?
They are flirting a little bit. It's kind of weird.
But everybody said that I was crazy for saying it, and I just want to say once again, Not to be such a Taurus, but it's so hard being right all the time, isn't it?
Oh,
Anyway.
little bitch. Please.
Yeah.
Spare me.
Anyway, all that is to say, Moana, I barely even know her.
Sure.
It was horrible. I'm sorry, I hated it.
Yeah, it was not good. Visually beautiful.
Gorgeous gowns.
Gorgeous gowns.
Like you said, it's cool that they gave, like, you know, I would say Polynesia and, like, you know, Oceania and those, like, those islands and that culture, like,
yes.
it's due, like, credit. It's very cool. They visually represented it beautifully. Like, you know, the clothing, the animation, all of it is gorgeous. The storyline, such a disservice. Like, the music,
I just wanted
inappropriate.
I just felt like it could have been deeper. Like, it just didn't really feel like it, like, gave me any...
There were no stakes. I was like,
Yeah,
what's
like,
going to
what are
happen
the
if she
stakes?
doesn't go to the island? They made it just fine this far.
And it's like, girl, we know she's gonna make it. So what, now the people are just, like, friends with other people? Like, cool.
Ghost people from the other islands. They don't even really see them.
But it's like, so did they
vapor.
Did they just think that they were the only people on Earth?
Maybe.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
the more I think about it, the more I'm like, wow. It's not good.
They were really scraping the bottom of the idea barrel with that one. And apparently they're going to keep scraping because they set it up for a sequel.
Yeah. Horrible.
Sick.
And then, on top of that, ditching the Tiana thing. I'm sorry, I just saw another thing about that, like, this week, and it's just so heartbreaking. Like, I would at least hope that they did what they did with Moana 2 and make it into a movie, and then, like, of course, they just...
I think they're sort of going to do something. They've alluded to there being, like, a Tiana, like, special event that they're calling it.
It better be a movie.
I doubt it's going to be a movie. If I had to guess, it's going to be, like, a little, like, you know, documentary sort of, you know, 1 hour featurette where it's like a talking about the, like, you know, continuation of her story and these characters and little talking head interviews with the voice cast, and then, and here's, you know, 15 minutes that we were able to scrape together from what we actually made. That's my guess. And again, like I said, we'll see. Stay tuned to see if I'm right yet again. First.
50-50 shot. I don't know.
We'll see.
I feel like they're just gonna leave us hanging, and then, like, 10 years down the road, we'll get a movie.
Yeah, like a live action.
Yeah.
Speaking of...
Wait, is there anything else we wanted to touch on? Just wanted to touch briefly on the Toothless meet and greet.
So cute!
Very freaking cute.
Adorable.
Oh my god, did you see the way he, like, literally smiles in the pictures? He literally looks like Brucey.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is giving, like, French Bulldog.
Yeah.
/ dragon / Stitch.
It's very cute. I'm very excited. The one thing I will say is the, I forget the protagonist, or the protagonist's name in the movie, who's, like, the owner of Toothless.
Ding Dong.
I was literally like, why is he giving, like, he's, like, 35 years old?
Sure.
But that was my only critique.
Great.
Anyway.
Yeah, Epic looks incredible. The previews are really starting. Like, media is getting in there. Influencers are getting in there. Tickets are officially on sale for people who aren't season pass holders now. So it's, like, really...
Yeah. All of June is already sold out.
But it's not.
Oh, it's not?
It's sold out that day. I think what they're doing is, like, concert style. They're doing, like drops.
Okay.
Like, they're like, okay, it's done.
Yeah.
And we'll try again in a few days and let some
another
more in. But I did see that they are... The Universal's official or Epic's official, like, Twitter account or something replied to somebody online, and it was, like, our first confirmation that they are going to be crowd capacity limited in the opening months, which I think is a really smart idea to just make sure that they get a good experience out of everybody that's walking through those gates, so that they're talking it up and talking about how great it is instead of talking about what a, you know, disaster it is and whatever.
Yeah, so they want to definitely leave a good first impression, you know?
Leave quite an impression. 5 enemies.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Drink out of these little tiny bottles. I feel like a little pirate.
I love them. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's pretty cool. I'm very excited about it. And because Stitch was mentioned earlier, just that Toothless looks like him, the Lilo and Stitch live action trailer came out.
So good.
It looks pretty darn good.
I really think this might be, like, top 3 of the live action.
Yeah.
I also think this storyline lends itself well to a live action. I think, like, way more so than, like, many others.
It's just people.
It's just people. It's, like, aliens. They could look a little weird in CGI, and it's, like, fine, because they're, like, aliens.
Yep.
You know? And Stitch looks so freaking cute. Like, I'm like, how
Adorable.
could you not, like, love that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Adorable.
I rewatched Lilo and Stitch last night, and I do love that movie.
That movie really makes me, like...
It's very sad. Very sad, but very happy at the end. Also, like, it's so funny how completely the one alien who, like, is, like, literally, like...
a drag queen.
A drag queen.
Yeah.
And, like, is, like, trying on all the wigs and, like, looking in the mirror. Like, every wig, he's, like, just trying on a different one.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. It's iconic.
Yeah. I love it. It's very
so
good.
funny.
It's giving, like, old school Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's really, really good.
Yeah. Or, more recent reference, Emperor Cusco.
Cusco!
It's like...
that is...
an onion log.
Now, that's a live-action remake they should be making.
They really should. Where's that?
Where's that?
A Pacha?
A Pacha?
Yeah. Who would they get to play, like, Yzma? It's gotta be somebody, like, really good.
Eartha Kitt cannot be topped. Like,
I
don't know.
know.
That's the one thing I'm like, I don't know. They would really need to, like, nail that down.
Like, Taraji P. Henson, maybe?
That would be good. Yeah, Yzma's, like, the most iconic Disney villain.
Yeah.
She is.
She's so good.
He's like, oh,
is there anything on
this
like, menu that's swimming in gravy?
He's like, what's holding this woman together?
Super zoom to her face.
He's like, whoa,
sprinkles.
How long's that been there? There's like a thing in her teeth. It's so funny.
Everything about it.
Everything about it.
Freaking Kronk. Oh my god.
It's like, tell me where the llama went. Oh!
Her eyeballs like bulging through the door socket.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Couldn't even let it go. Not even on your birthday.
99 monkeys jumping on the...
That movie is so good.
He's like, I still got 98 monkeys to go.
Yeah.
Oh my god, when she turns into the cat at the end.
Yeah.
Is that
everything...
my voice?
Oh well.
Oh well. I win.
Yeah, he's like, for the last time, we did not order a giant trampoline. But you could have told me that before I set it up. You see her?
That's another one we need to like have watch along.
Fully rewatch, yeah. It's so funny. Every
time.
So
good.
The groove.
Beware of the groove.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah.
Anyway. So this bracket. Alright. So for those not familiar with like a March Madness bracket, basically what you do is like,
live under a rock?
I don't know, some of these people may not be into the sports, may not be into the NCAA. Speaking of, you know the official song of the NCAA this year, March Madness is Abracadabra,
I thought it was Garden of Eden.
No, that's for F1 racing.
Oh.
NCAA March Madness.
Period.
Yeah, Abracadabra. She's getting her bag, honey.
That's awesome.
Yeah. She was like, this era is brought to you by MasterCard.
Literally.
Which is better than Chromatica. Brought to you by Oreos.
Oh, yeah, Oreos. Oh, the Chromatic Oreos.
Yeah.
Did you buy them?
No.
Oh, neither. But, like, people like, still have them saved.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
Horrifying.
Horror.
It's not great.
Anyway, this bracket. How are we
bracket.
going to do this? What do you want to do?
So basically, you know, the way the bracket works is that you put your quote-unquote seeds, like, you put a strong one against a less strong one. So that's sort of what we're doing. So we're kind of like, in the beginning it kind of seems unfair, because you're like, well, obviously this one's better. But the point is that as it goes on, you get to your semifinals and everything, it gets more and more intense as you're like, okay, well, these really are the best of the best. Because it's not fun to put two really good ones against each other in the beginning. And then you're like, what do you do?
No, that makes
Save the fierce debate for the end. So we're going to just go right off the top then. So let's briefly say our criteria for this a little bit, I would say, just to illustrate. So we're really only talking about, like, live action remakes of other existing animated IP. So we didn't really count, like,
prequels,
so many.
Sequels.
Yeah, sequels to them, because there's a couple, for example, Alice in Wonderland has a sequel.
Looking Glass.
Yeah.
Like, we're not counting, like, Mufasa, the sequel to The Lion King.
Right. And then there are also other Disney live actions, but aren't really remakes. So, for example, Mary Poppins live action, but it's not really a remake of the original.
Oh, well, we did include one prequel because we ran out.
Yeah. And I think it deserved to be in there anyway, so it's okay.
I think so, too.
I think it's fine.
I think it's fine.
Yeah. And then
basically we just like made up some random roles.
Yeah, you know why? Because to quote Trixie and Katya, it's our show.
It's our show.
Not yours.
Yeah.
Great. Well, then let's get into it. Start us off.
Okay, great. So first we have Cinderella, 2015's Cinderella.
Yep.
Versus Alice in Wonderland, which is what year? Like 2012?
I think it was 2009. Even.
Oh, 9.
It's pretty old.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We felt like that was a good way to kick it off. Yeah. Well, clearly, like, the winner is going to be Cinderella. That is a great movie.
Gorgeous.
I recently rewatched. And
it's just the anniversary, 10th anniversary.
Yeah,
the costumes. This week.
The costumes
Incredible.
alone are truly, I think, hands down the best in any Disney live-action movie.
Stunning.
It's stunning visually. Like,
absolutely
it's
gorgeous.
Just a feast for your eyes. I think it does a good job of retelling the classic story. It's not like a musical. It's, just straight up, this is the story. Mm-hmm. Look at these beautiful visuals. It adds extra to, like, the animated movie.
Yep.
And gives you, like, a deeper story. I think it's, like, honestly really freaking good. Like, almost
Kenneth Branagh, director.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's excellent.
Yeah. Really, really good. I will co-sign everything you said. I think the costumes are truly amongst the best. I don't know if I would say literally the best of all of the live actions, but definitely amongst the best, I would say. Sandy Powell, who designed the costumes for the upcoming Snow White, so we'll see. But that blue dress is like...
It's iconic. The way it moves when she is
gorgeous.
Like, just spinning. Like it.
I have a whole book about it. There's like detail.
Wow.
We'll get into it. It's amazing.
It's incredible.
Gorgeous.
And also
beautiful.
Lady Tremaine and the stepsisters' dresses. All of them are so good.
Yeah, let's just have a moment for Cate Blanchett.
For
that
Cate
movie.
Blanchett.
God.
Oh my god.
She's so good.
With that red lip. Oh, she eats. She eats.
Yeah, her face is painted. Her hair is laid.
Oh my god.
Those costumes are so good. They did such an interesting thing where they're definitely like not really time period appropriate. They're much more kind of like 1940s than like the 1800s. But it's the best. No, I love it. It's like a stylistic choice.
Yeah.
They like gave her the big shoulder pads and very much more like slender and fitted silhouette than the big, which I think is a nice contrast because then Cinderella's a huge ball gown.
Yes.
And it's really cool to see the difference in the two.
And I loved that, like, visually, it is, if you look at, like, the original animated movie and, like, the remake, it is visually very different. Like, all of the choices are very different in costumes and color scheme and everything. However, like, it still makes sense. And, like, if you see, like, just a shot of, like, the stepsisters, for example, you clearly know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
But, like, the color schemes are still, like, a little different. Like, there's just, like, I love that, like, it just, I don't know. To me, like, that's how a remake should be. Like a live-action remake.
Yeah, I've heard it referred to as the squint test.
Yeah.
Like, it passes the squint test where it's like, okay, it's Cinderella.
Yeah.
We got it. Big blue dress, okay, and then, like, one's green and one's pink, or one's yellow and one's pink.
Exactly.
Okay, got it. But still completely unique, its own thing. Its own universe. And there is music, but it's like lightly in there.
Very light.
Like there's the bibbidi bobbidi boo with Helena Bonham Carter.
No, but she doesn't even.
She
just says
it.
She literally says it one time.
And then Lily James actually did record like a promotional cover of So This Is Love. Oh no, a dream is a wish your heart makes.
But that's okay. I think does it play in the credits?
Yeah.
Which is fine. I think that's actually great. I think that's perfect. Give it to us at the end.
It's great.
Yeah. I think it was like borderline. I'm glad they didn't make it a musical is what I'm trying to say, because I think borderline, like, there were parts of the movie where I was like, she seems a little crazy.
Yeah.
She seems like she's going a little crazy in that attic, honey. So it's a good thing she's not, like, just singing
to herself.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's probably why they did it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a little bit more, like, real. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
I really like it. And then by contrast, I don't really think Alice is bad. I wouldn't say that it's like a bad live action. I think it's of the ones on this list, if it's going to be in the like kind of lower tier for the purposes of our bracket seed, like it's one of the stronger ones. Like it's mid tier, I would say. It's not like low. I just personally am not super partial to the Alice like story. It is.
See, I actually do love the Alice story. I just think like Tim Burton, it just got like the story got like a little like all over the place and like
Yeah.
convoluted at times.
Yeah.
But I do think like I liked a lot of like the stylistic choices that he made. Like I thought
I'm a
visually
Tim
it was
Burton fanatic,
really cool.
so I love it. Yeah.
And very like different for that time.
Also
that it came
beautiful
out.
costumes.
Very beautiful costumes.
Colleen Atwood, the other big costume designer heavy hitter. Like I always used to say, like every year the costume design Oscar literally just gets passed back and forth between Sandy Powell and Colleen Atwood. They're like, who wants it this year? Yeah.
And weirdly enough, like my critique with Alice is that like I think they added too much more to the story. Like you know, like I want more obviously because it's like you know live action it should have more like information and but I just felt like it did a little too much. Like I think if they just like dialed it back a little bit,
it's like distracting.
Yeah, it's like too much distracting.
Yeah.
But it was like it's not bad.
Yeah. Still strong.
Cinderella still wins.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Cinderella's excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, love it.
Well,
next up.
You can read
All right, do you want
Wait,
to
are
do
we going to
this
do
or
it
the other
this or
side?
this?
Let's do the other side.
Okay, so we'll do the other side of the bracket, like the top two.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have The Jungle Book versus Peter Pan and Wendy.
Okay.
Which you haven't seen.
No, I've seen Peter Pan and Wendy.
Oh, you have? Okay. That movie was not good.
Yeah. Peter Pan and Wendy.
And The Jungle Book was great.
Yeah.
I actually think The Jungle Book's a great movie.
Yeah.
Great remake. I think they kind of, like I said with Cinderella, I think they did just enough to make it like its own thing. It passes the squint test, but it's still very stylistically
Still
like
music or no?
It's very like Cinderella where like they have like little hints of it, but it's not like they're not like fully doing the whole thing. Yeah. It's great though.
Interesting.
It's beautiful.
So no bare necessities.
It's like a very simple version of it. It's very pared back.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's really good.
Yeah.
I loved it. So
I've heard it's like one of the best of the best. So
clearly that one wins for me.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, the CGI, just to say, the CGI in that movie is so good.
Yeah.
It like makes me like confused as to why I feel like some of the newer movies, I'm like, did we go backwards with CGI? Like, why isn't it as good as it used to be?
Yeah.
I think that a lot.
Yeah. It definitely has gotten worse.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that thinks.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Jungle Book.
Speaking of things that are worse, Peter Pan and Wendy.
Are. Actually, they, you know, I give them credit for trying just like a whole new vibe for it.
Yeah.
But like, it didn't land for me.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's the worst live action remake on this list. Certainly not. You know, they took a swing. It was a miss, but they took a swing.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it. I do think it's, you know, Peter Pan is tough. It's such a beloved classic. I love Peter Pan. You love Peter Pan. So it's like, you're going to be so precious about it.
Also, like,
but like,
it just gave drab, right? Like,
yeah,
the
it was
color
not
palette,
vibrant.
it was
not
not
getting
vibrant.
Neverland.
Also, like, not for nothing, Hook is like one of the best movies of all time as well.
That's what I was going to say. I'm like, and we have an amazing live action already.
It's like, no, it just doesn't do it justice.
Enough said.
Okay.
Word.
Great.
All right, moving on. So we'll pop back over to
we'll
this
pop back over
bracket.
there. What do we have?
I don't know, I can't really read your handwriting.
Oh, sorry. What is that? Oh, The Little Mermaid versus The Lion King. Okay. This is a tough one. I mean, I know what I'm going to pick. It's not really tough, no. But...
Yeah. Okay, so The Little Mermaid's taking it. I'm sorry.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, the live action Lion King, I'm like, it's still animated. It's just computer animated.
Yeah, and...
made to look live action.
And, like, why are we watching... It just loses the emotional beats for me.
Yeah.
Because it looks like it's a, like, Nat Geo documentary. Yeah,
I wish they had given more, like, stylization to the characters, because it's like the lions in the Lion King, they're all the same species, but they, like, you know, the color palette is different.
Hard to tell everybody.
Mufasa's like big and buff and has like huge mane and scars, like lanky and thin.
Yeah, like,
and then in the movie, I'm like, they look the same.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard.
Whom? What?
Yeah, what are we doing?
And I'll say this, Beyonce, I love you, girl, but she just takes me out of it. Hearing her.
Lions attack!
Whoa, spirit!
That song is good. It did give us a good song.
It did, but I just would prefer it as a standalone.
Period.
Or as an accompaniment, like The Gift. Oh, yeah. The visual album that accompanied it.
That was a great album. I mean,
I got a gift receipt for this gift.
You used to, that was your line back in whatever year that was released.
2019, I want to say?
Yeah.
2020?
It was right before 2020.
Yeah, 2019.
Wow.
It's fine. I know that it's like controversial, but it shouldn't even be controversial. Little Mermaid is good.
It's a great movie.
It's just really good. I'm sorry.
And I think like they did exactly what we were saying makes a great live action. Like, it's different enough where you're like, great, but it still hits like the key things that we want to see in a live action, but it's like own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that it filled out the backstory a little more. Like, love getting more Prince Eric's backstory with like his mother and everything. I liked like their romance felt so much more like there was time for it to breathe and stuff, so it addressed some of those concerns from the cartoon where it was like, how do they even fall in love?
It felt like they had good chemistry.
Yeah, you see them fall in love in it. And I do think, those two actors, like Jonah Hauer-King and Halle Bailey, like they clearly like had great chemistry together, which is wonderful. Also visually wonderful, like costumes by Colleen Atwood, gorgeous. Like I think they look incredible. The Vanessa, incredible.
Yeah. Oh, she was so
all
good.
of that.
Yeah.
Melissa McCarthy, I was ready to be a hater, and I thought she was excellent. Mm-hmm. I really thought she did a great job. It was the comedic beats were there.
Halle was excellent.
Wonderful.
The singing, the music is really freaking good.
It's incredible.
Like,
yep. Minus Scuttlebutt.
A Part of Your World is like truly the most iconic Disney song.
I think it is
ever.
Yeah.
She did it.
Yeah.
And it just sounds amazing.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yep. I loved her sisters. I love the way that they did her sisters. They were all different, inspired, like different kinds of fish and everything.
King Triton.
God, what's not to like, honey? And I haven't touched his breastplate, if you know what I mean. Ursula, stop! Like his deep ass voice. God, he's Daddy,
I love him.
Daddy, I do love him. I do love him. He did it for me, honey. Although I thought Eric was cute as hell too.
Eric's so cute. I loved him.
Yeah,
he was really so good.
Solid. Very good movie.
Solid movie.
Yeah, excellent. Excellent. Gorgeous gowns.
Gorgeous gowns. Kiss the Girl, which is like probably one of my favorite Disney scenes of any movie like ever.
Yep.
And I thought they did a great job with it.
Yeah.
Like
all the like big emotional beats that you want were there, and I think they really nailed them. So, I mean, to me, Little Mermaid takes it over the Lion King. Period. Great. Other side.
Beauty and the Beast versus Dumbo.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
So this one's a little, I would say, I mean, I guess we'll find this out in the next rounds, but I do think that like Beauty and the Beast takes it for me.
Me too.
But I also think compared to the other kind of similar, because we said, okay, on the opposite side, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast are kind of good foils for each other. I think Little Mermaid's better than
Well, we're going to get to that. But it is. But like, you know, I like Beauty and the Beast.
I do too.
That was before they decided that they should hire actual singers, clearly.
Yeah.
The auto-tune is distracting.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's not as bad, I will say, because I rewatched it recently within the last month or two, and I do think that it's one of those things, for me, where I feel like the talking about it on social has distorted the memory, and then when I listened to it back, I was like, okay, it is very auto-tuned and it's bad, but it's not that bad.
It's very, like, they hit the notes, but there's not really anything, like,
musicality.
Yeah, there's no, like, real musicality. It's like, they just, like, la 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 la, like it's just very
little town. It's a quiet village. It's like you're trying to sing "You Rock" karaoke and like get the like points on project.
Exactly. Which hey, I mean
every day yeah, full of little.
It's definitely not giving Paige O'Hara. I will say that. Yeah, Paige.
And I will say the costumes beautiful, minus, in my opinion, the yellow dress. I absolutely hate it. Horrible. And I think this was the first big like princess remake to come out since Cinderella, because it was 2017.
Yeah, and
so then the comparison. It's
like, you were like expecting this in
gorgeous like, ball gown, and then it was just
like a
prom dress.
It was giving. It was just like fabric. Like I don't even know. Like there was like it had the weirdest shape. I don't know why they did like the two pieces of fabric down the sides and then like no fabric in the middle. Like that made me so angry.
Yeah. And speaking of the squint test, the only part of the squint test that passes that it's
Yellow.
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 I'm like, I would have loved it to be gold. Could we do something to make it like a little more? In my mind, that dress in the animated is gold.
Yeah, it's
like I know that it's yellow because it was 1991 and it's a cartoon, but I'm like, it's in my head. I'm like, it's gold. Gold. It's like it's supposed to be like French aristocracy, like 18th century. I'm picturing like gold Marie Antoinette like brocade, and then this movie was like, oh, you heard yellow? How about canary? Like
canary yellow. Oh my.
The rest, I like her like blue dress.
I even thought like the Beast outfit in the ball gown, or the ballroom scene, is really good.
Yeah,
I thought like I actually love that scene, but that dress, like if they just did the right dress,
and her hair is so like mousy and flat too. Because another thing, Cinderella, they give her some weave. There's some she got some volume in there.
Yes,
but like Belle is just giving.
Straight. Well, here's my hair. She's a very simple girl.
Yeah, okay, but the whole point of that moment is that it's like a transformation. It's just like, and she's like, not for me, honey.
She's like, nah.
Yeah. But I will say, to not talk total smack, they redeem it. The very last scene where it's like sort of a wedding. You're not really clear. I guess it's kind of their wedding.
Dress is good.
It's like she has a white dress that has like roses on it,
and it's actually like a ball gown.
And it's so pretty, big full skirt, gorgeous, like moves really well.
I just don't get why
the yellow they really shit the bed on.
They really shit the bed.
It's not good. It's not good.
Here, Brucey trying to get in.
Click clacking
at the door.
Speaking of not good, Dumbo.
Girl, I wish I remembered that movie.
Yeah, I think it's similar because it's also Tim Burton.
Yeah.
It's a similar kind of level of like, or no, it's not.
Say,
no, wait, it is.
I was definitely like really like messed up.
Wait, no, it is. Yeah, Dumbo's also Tim Burton.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so I think it's similar to Alice, where it's like too convoluted. I'm like, I think you added too much. There was like a little too, like, where are we?
I couldn't even, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything to say about it.
Yeah. I think also for me, like...
They added like kids into it, I think. Like a whole storyline with like humans. I don't know.
Yeah. I think part of also what makes it hard is Dumbo. A lot of those old ones, like the 40s, 50s, like golden era of animation of Walt Disney, like translating that to a live action, especially then covered in CGI, it's like the magic is not magicking. It's not there.
I remember like visually I see like it could have been cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's very like not memorable for me.
Yeah. Beauty and the Beast takes it.
Yeah, it does. Okay.
Slay.
Maleficent versus Pinocchio.
Oh God. Okay. Well,
I mean, it's a clear winner.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. I think Pinocchio might honestly be like the worst one. But it's real bad.
It's pretty bad.
I quite liked Maleficent. Sorry, I'm not sorry about it. Like, I think it's good.
I think it's fine. I think visually,
there it is.
I think Angelina Jolie looks amazing in it, and it's giving Maleficent like her character. Yes.
Yeah.
Great. But I don't know. I don't really love a Disney villain like origin story.
Yeah.
I do, but I'm also just like, why can't they just be evil?
Yeah, stop making it sympathetic.
I don't want to be sympathetic. I just want to love them because they're freaking evil and crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She tries to kill a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's just a freaking witch. Okay?
Yeah. Dark fairy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. Oh, that whole... I think that's why I really did not like the movie. That they made her like a fairy.
Yeah.
I was like, no, she's an evil witch.
I think she is a fairy in the original. That's like the whole thing is that the three other fairies, like, they're doing their best with their good fairy magic to, like, counter her, like, evil fairy. I don't think she is a witch.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah, I mean, her skin is, like, blue. Like, green.
It's iconic.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, again, another hard one to sell, because it's, like, the visuals of Sleeping Beauty might be some of the... maybe are the most beautiful of any, animated Disney movie.
Who? Mary Blair. Did she do that?
Mary Blair's Alice.
I thought she did Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty is like Mark Davis and I don't know. We'll have to reference in the library.
Yeah.
But it is. I mean, it's gorgeous. Like
Beautiful.
Visually, some of the best.
Beautiful.
Like Disney anything.
Yes.
Ever. So yeah, translating into live action is not great. I think Angelina was great. I don't know. Other than that,
they didn't make her skin like green or
No.
blue, which was annoying.
But they did give her like those Born This Way, Lady Gaga, like cheekbone prosthetics, which honestly her face is so angular already. I'm like,
Also,
did she even need them?
I do love Elle Fanning, but like, I don't know.
She didn't really give in that movie.
She didn't really give in that movie.
Yeah.
I do love her though.
Although, to be fair,
No hate.
that's the character. Like, Aurora doesn't really give either. She's not even really a character in her own movie.
But wouldn't we want that in a live action like
to build it
movie?
out.
To build it out, to give us more.
But it's not her story, it's Maleficent.
Well,
it's not Sleeping Beauty.
This is why. It's fine. Okay. It's better than Pinocchio.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, Pinocchio was horrendable. Yeah. The only bright spot in Pinocchio literally is Cynthia Erivo, Blue Fairy.
Of course.
Her rendition of When You Wish Upon a Star
is beautiful.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool choice to give that song to the Blue Fairy instead of Jiminy Cricket. And I think it's like very, I mean, it brings a tear to my eye.
Sure.
It's amazing. She's so good. But that's really all that needs to be discussed with that film.
That's that. Okay.
To the other side.
Aladdin and Lady and the Tramp.
We saw Aladdin together in theaters, did we not?
We sure did.
The live action.
We sure did. We saw Lion King together too, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. You know I have my problems with Aladdin. It is my favorite classic, like, Renaissance animated movie.
Yeah.
Disney Renaissance.
This Ramonda, not that Renaissance.
No, not well. I do love that too, but yeah, and I just felt like the live action just didn't hit the way the OG did for me.
Yeah.
I
feel like it has the opposite of what we were saying that was good about The Little Mermaid, where it was like all those big iconic scenes, beats, emotional moments they nailed. They did not in Aladdin.
They did not, yeah, exactly. They didn't, like, A Whole New World was so lackluster for me. And
I barely remember it.
Yeah, in, like, the live action, which is, like, how would they, like, mess that up?
Yeah.
That is, like, the one thing they have to get right. And they didn't even fly around the world. They were just, like, flying in the air around Agrabah, I guess.
Yeah. It's not good.
It was not good.
Yeah. I will say, I'm not going to dogpile on, like, Will Smith, because I think he was smart, too.
To be honest, that was, like, probably the highlight of the movie for me. I thought he actually did a great job.
Yeah.
The genie, like, parts were really good to me.
Yeah. Because in the absence of Robin Williams, you have to just take a swing and go a completely different direction, not try and imitate him, not try and get that, just really say, okay, we're going to go completely different. And they, like, kind of took a page out of the, like, stage adaptation and were like, let's make him, like, a goofy, funny black guy.
And I love that.
Instead of, like, Robin Williams' vibe.
Yeah.
Which I feel like it was great. And I felt like, sure, why not? Like, Will Smith has that energy, so it worked.
And then I know you think Jafar is, like, hot, and sure he is, but, like, no. Jafar should have been, like, an old, haggard queen.
Yeah, not, like, sexy.
Yeah.
He was sexy, though.
Yeah, and it's just, I was like, why are we doing this?
Yeah. No, I hear you. I agree. I did like, this is controversial because I think almost nobody likes it but me, but I did like
I know what you're going to say.
Hate it. Jasmine song.
Hated it. Oh my god, I thought it was horrible.
I won't be
that song is so bad.
You won't keep me quiet.
0 out of 10.
Tremble when you try it. All I know is I won't go.
It's so bad.
I mean, it's not the worst.
That's a Guy Ritchie movie?
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah. What do you think about the costumes?
It's, like, kind of mixed because I think they, like, some of them are cool. I thought Jasmine's blue costume is really cool.
Iconic, like...
It's really good. But I hate Aladdin's, like, normal costume. Honey, we need to see his body, his chest.
Show me those nips.
Show me those titties.
Yeah. And those tits.
It just... I was like, why are they, like...
And his hair was, like, flat iron straight. I'm like, just let him have curly hair.
Yeah,
it's so weird that it was, like...
The choices were so weird. It was so weird to me.
Yeah. But also the whole ending with, like...
The Bollywood dance?
The giant... No, like, the...
Oh.
Giant parrot and the flying through the... I was like, what are we...
I also was just kind of like... what culture are we trying... Like, what is... It's like a made-up culture, and I feel like that's kind of, like, wrong.
Yeah.
No?
I don't know.
It's like a mixture of, like, many different.
It's tricky. I feel like what happened there is what happened to, like the dwarves in the new Snow White, where it's like, okay, well, we don't want to commit to like doing the real actual thing because that might be insensitive.
Yeah.
But we don't want to do something completely made up because that might also be insensitive. So we're going to try and split the fence and make nobody happy, and that's what they did. Like, same thing with Snow White, where they're like, well, we don't want to use like real little people actors, but we also don't want to make CGI little people. So we're going to make weird CGI little like gnome people and then make everybody offended. And then I feel like that's what they did with Agrabah. It's like, okay, so they could have either committed to being like, it's in Morocco, which Disney canon is honestly, like, okay, yeah, it's in like Morocco and Epcot, right?
A great.
Like, it's in like the Middle East or whatever. Or, fine, say it is in like Southeast Asia and go fully like Bollywood and say like, yeah, it's in further over into India or something. But they didn't. So then they like split the fence and they were like, well, it's a little Bollywood, but it's also a little like the Arab world in the Middle East, and it's a little offensive to everybody. Yeah, to that I say, shit or get off the pot.
Yeah. Wow. But it's up against Lady in the Tramp.
Which truly,
it's also not good.
To quote Keke Palmer, sorry to this movie, I saw it walking down the street, I would not say a thing. I literally name one memorable thing from that movie.
I mean, yeah, it's not memorable at all.
Right, so.
Because Aladdin had, like, some moments, I guess, that were, like,
there's
cool,
like a couple, okay.
I will say, it's, like, literally all the Will Smith parts. I'm like, oh, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah, Friend Like Me is fun.
Friend Like Me is fun, and,
Prince Ali.
Both are, like, very good, in my opinion. Everything else is horrible.
End of list. Yeah.
End of list. Okay, so I will give it to Aladdin because I literally don't remember a thing about Lady and the Tramp.
There it is.
Great.
All right, back over to this side. We have... I can't even read this. Oh, okay. We have Mulan versus Pete's Dragon. And I will just say, disclaimer, I'm like, I've never seen a single minute of any Pete's Dragon ever. So this is all Nikki.
You know, I really loved Pete's Dragon as a kid. The OG.
Was it from like the 70s or something?
Yeah. Just the one song, I'll Be Your Candle on the Water. Oh my god. It's like a song that I used to listen to as a kid. Very sentimental. Anyway. The remake actually is not like the worst movie ever. Okay. It was good-ish.
Alright. And it's one of the older ones from like 2015 or something.
I haven't seen it in a very long time, but like I remember actually enjoying it.
Okay.
And Mulan, I fell asleep. The first time I watched it, I was like, wow, this is like really, really not good. Yeah. And I fell asleep.
So I would think critically, the Mulan live action is like very well received. It consistently like ranks highly of the like remakes. People seem to like, critics really enjoy it.
Maybe I should rewatch it.
I think what you have to do, I've seen it a few times. I agree. The first time I saw it, I was like, what are we giving here? Because the big thing, it can't be what's like unsaid, is that like there's no like Mushu part and there's no music. So I would say the vast majority, nay, all of the like joy that's in Mulan is not in the live action at all. It's like just heavy and serious. It's just like a war movie. So it's like, it's intense. Also similarly give like a kind of sympathetic story to the villain, which I didn't really need especially for that villain.
Isn't there like multiple villains?
Yeah, they basically like split the Shan Yu character into like him, and then like his falcon is like a witch that like turns into the bird. You know, he has that evil bird.
Yeah, that's such an interesting choice.
Yeah, it's a lot. I don't know. I would say Mulan is like not even really an adaptation. It's basically its own story. Like it's very, very loose. It's just like a girl named Mulan runs away from her family and like secretly joins the army at the end.
And that's it.
But like the romance is not there. Obviously the music is not there.
Like basically it shouldn't even be like considered a remake.
It's really like very loose. If you watch it just being like, this is just like a movie that Disney made, it's like, okay, yeah, it's all right. But to compare it to Mulan, like, I want to hear some 98 Degrees up in this bitch. I want to hear Eddie Murphy, like, laughing his ass off, like, you know, doing puns and wordplay. That is not there.
It's not there?
Yeah. So.
Wow. And that's how I remember it. I was just like, what am I watching?
Yeah. So, I mean, up to you then. Would you give it to Pete's Dragon?
I would.
Okay.
I would. Because, I mean, just, like, off first impressions of, like, what I remember.
Sure.
But what would, I mean, I guess you can't really decide, so.
Yeah.
I guess I get a Pete's Dragon.
Slay.
I feel bad because I really love the OG Mulan.
Yeah. I know, it's such a bummer.
Yeah. Okay.
Last bracket.
This one was a little bit of a wild card because we ran out of movies.
But it's a good one. It is good.
We decided to put 101 Dalmatians, the Glenn Close version, up against Cruella, which
The
is
Emma Stone version.
the only prequel that we have on here, but we needed to put something against it.
Yeah.
I know what I would say.
And you would say?
I would say Glenn Close.
Of course.
All day, every day.
Yeah. I feel like you
the
and I are
iconic
kind of
lines.
There's
first
so
of all,
many good ones. There's so many good ones.
if we make this coat, it's as if I'll be wearing your dog.
Woof woof! Ah!
Yeah.
Horrifying.
Or
Marriage. More good women have been lost to marriage than death, disease,
And
famine, and
disaster.
disaster. Yeah.
take the drawing
From Anita and hand it to me. Is that difficult? Yeah. It's excellent. I mean, she's incredible. Iconic costume design. Just
Oh my god. When
fabulous.
she walks in with the leopard and she's got the cape with like the huge collar. Oh my god, and her hair is just all
The whole, like, the opening scene of Devil Wears Prada with Miranda Priestley, where she's, like, walks in, is from 101
Yes.
Dalmatians.
They
Where she gets out of the
totally
car,
stole
the
it.
old ass
And then
car pulls up, she goes,
she ashes her cigarette.
yeah, and the ash just falls on his feet. Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. And the choice, like, I will say, we're talking about not wanting to make sympathetic backstories to these villains, and it's not really sympathetic, it's just more, like, filled out, the backstory, which is that, like, she's a fashion designer, which is such a slay. It's
Such
so
a
good.
slay.
Yeah. It is really, really good. The only thing to me is, and you and I are in completely different camps with this, and that's fine, but, like, to me, that I don't really consider a live-action remake because it's, like, just for this era. We're talking about the majority of films on this list are from the last 10 years. This is from, like, the 90s.
Yeah, this is from the 90s.
But, opposite, I'm like, Cruella isn't really a remake, it's like an origin story.
But it is also very good.
But it's from this time
This
period.
is tough, though,
And it
actually.
is very good. I love it. I think Emma Stone's amazing.
She's great.
I think that the, like, character that they build out with Emma Thompson is amazing. The, like, evil fashion designer, also fashion. The choice to set it in, like, London in the 70s, so chic.
And the fashion actually is very good in it.
It's excellent.
Yeah.
I mean, it won the costume design Oscar that year. It was Jenny Babin. Yeah, it's a very solid film.
I agree.
I regularly put it on. If I'm, like, looking for something, I'm like, oh, we should watch Cruella tonight. Like, it's a good one.
Yeah.
She's
She's good.
I just feel like, truly, if we are ranking just, like, remakes and just, like, I mean, it's going to the Glenn Close.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I love it.
Yeah, it's just...
Period.
It's a great movie.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, then that's our round. So then, like, should we dive right into the, like,
Yeah.
head-to-head matches?
Okay, so then we've got Cinderella versus
The Little Mermaid.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
It's already so hard.
Oh, damn, okay. And we're in the final four now? Yeah, we're in the final four.
No,
we're
this
in
is
the final,
the
sorry, the Elite Eight.
The Elite Eight. This is the Elite Eight.
Okay, got it.
We're really starting it off hard.
Okay. That is tough.
Okay, here's my thing. The Little Mermaid is my favorite Disney movie ever. And we're judging remakes.
That is really tough.
I feel like the live-action Little Mermaid is a better, like, remake of the Little Mermaid animated than
movie.
the Cinderella live-action is
Okay, wow.
of the Cinderella movie.
Yeah.
I just really like that the music's included. And I get that they're from different time periods and, like, you know, they kind of just went a different direction with it.
It's tough. That is a really tough one. Because honestly, like, if you asked me 20 minutes ago, I probably would have said Cinderella would have won. But, like, now thinking about it, I'm like, but I actually really do love The Little Mermaid.
It is, like, just
really good.
I just think it's a really solid, faithful adaptation of the source material. Like, which is obviously a classic fairy tale adapted and been Disneyfied with music and, you know, lightened up for, like, a younger audience and then translated into a live action. And I think that that's what The Little Mermaid is giving, and I just don't necessarily feel like the Kenneth Branagh live action Cinderella is really an adaptation of Disney's 1950 Cinderella.
That's fair.
But that's just for me.
No, I think, like, your argument is very valid. And I think that I would agree with it. That's really tough. That's like really, really tough.
Well, case closed.
But I think I'll give it to The Little Mermaid because I think, especially within like the last 5 years, it's definitely the best one they've done.
Yeah.
And it does give you like the classic music and it's done well. Cinderella does not really do that, so.
Yeah. I would also say that I like revisit it more frequently. Like if I'm just like putting something on in the background, I would rather put on The Little Mermaid than Cinderella. Like, I mean, Cinderella is great, but it's like you got to really like lock into like, watching the movie.
It is like a little more serious. I would say.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's still very, very strong. It's just like for these.
I'm comfortable locking in The Little Mermaid.
All right.
Okay, great.
So then the other side we've got The Jungle Book up against
versus
Beauty and the Beast.
Ooh. That's tough too.
I feel like you would want to make it The Jungle Book.
I feel like I would want to make it The Jungle Book. Because it actually is a really, really well done movie.
Yeah. That's fine. I'm not so
Beauty and the Beast is like, it's like pretty decent, but it's got its flaws, like some heavy flaws. So yeah.
Quite as heavy as Aladdin, but there's still
Yes. The Jungle Book. Okay.
Great.
Locked in.
All right, so then back over to this side, we have
Maleficent versus Pete's Dragon. Maleficent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Slay.
Yeah.
That's easy enough. Like, we don't even have to talk about it.
No,
it just is what it is. All right, and then this one, I mean, this is so, like, duh. Okay, so then it's going to be Aladdin versus Glenn Close's 101 Dalmatians.
101 Dalmatians.
Girl.
Not
taking
even close.
it.
Not even close.
Yeah. Not even close. So now we're at our final four. So our final four is, let's just recap before we get
final
to
four.
The mashup. So
The Jungle Book, 101 Dalmatians, Maleficent,
surprising, and The Little Mermaid.
Oh wow.
Crazy. Okay, so what are the matchups that we have here?
Okay, so we have
The Jungle Book versus 101. Wow. And then
so we've got
The Little
an
Mermaid
animal
versus
movie.
Maleficent.
Ooh.
This is a really solid
final four. Okay.
Because then it's like princess movie versus like animal movie.
Yeah, like the two things that Disney does. Great.
Wow. You really did this, Mama.
We didn't plan that. That's good.
Right.
Okay, I would between The Little Mermaid and Mulan, or not Mulan. Maleficent, not Mulan.
Bye.
I would definitely give it to The Little Mermaid. For sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not even a question.
People are gonna be okay. No, let's just keep going.
Whatever. Okay, and now The Jungle Book versus 101 Dalmatians. That's hard.
101 Dalmatians.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like here's the thing. If you're talking about just like a prestige movie, people really liked The Jungle Book for it being like a great film. Like it's just a beautiful adaptation.
Glenn Close, just nothing can top that performance.
Excellent.
That performance is so iconic.
Like her prime. Like retroactively give her an Oscar for that.
Okay, wow. So the final is literally The Little Mermaid versus 101 Dalmatians. And people are definitely going to be pissed if we pick 101 Dalmatians, I feel like. Because it's not really like a remake in the sense of... post 2015.
Yeah, it's not really like one of the like remakes.
Oh, I don't know. This is tough.
What
are we thinking?
I mean, I'm based on the criteria that I used earlier. I feel like The Little Mermaid is a better, more faithful adaptation to the original animated movie. I do think that 101 Dalmatians with Glenn Close is a good adaptation of the 101 story, and like I think it's closer to the original than like
it's modernized, of course. Like they did make changes, but
there's like a computer in it.
Yeah,
he's like a video game designer. But I don't know. I feel like The Little Mermaid is like a truer adaptation to like Howard Ashman and Alan Menken's The Little Mermaid, Ron Clement, John.
I say The Little Mermaid. It's The Little Mermaid.
All right, so then out of 16 Disney live-action adaptations, we're giving it to The Little Mermaid.
Period.
With 101 Dalmatians, a very close second.
Very close.
Yeah, and then you would say, like, The Jungle Book third, and then, like, Maleficent fourth.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
Wow, that's really crazy.
I'm really a crazy girl.
Crazy girl.
I mean, it's just really good. The Little Mermaid is really, really good.
Yeah, people need to get on board with that.
They really do.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw it together in the theater.
Oh yeah, I saw it like multiple times in theaters.
Me too.
Like 3 times.
I loved it. I mean, I love it.
I really love it. I really love this.
I love this. And you know what else is cool is I do love, and they started doing this more and more now, but I really thought the little Easter egg moment with Jodie Benson and the fork was very sweet. Excuse me, ma'am, I think you'll be needing this.
Jodie Benson was at the Snow White premiere. I saw her interviewing.
Oh yeah, they'll trot her out for anything.
Oh yeah.
Don't bite the hand that feeds, honey.
Wait, you didn't get a cameo from her, did you?
No, I have from Susan Egan, from Meg.
Oh, that's right.
Well, Wonder Boy, it's been a real slice.
It's been a real slice.
She's 2 of them, really. She's Meg and she was Belle on Broadway.
Belle, right.
She was the OG Belle in Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, iconic.
Yep. And she gets to sing the new song that they added for her in the Beauty and the Beast on Broadway. Is this home?
Well, that's a good song.
Where? Yeah. What I'd give.
Did you see? I think they're bringing the Australian
tour.
We
gotta go.
I
Bro.
definitely want to see.
Did you see the videos?
Yes,
it looks amazing. Yeah,
yes,
very cool.
Okay, cool.
I mean, Beauty and the Beast on stage is really fun.
I've never seen it on stage.
What? You never saw it on Broadway? You didn't see it in a regional theater anywhere?
Never.
Not even Walnut Street?
No.
They did it at Walnut
I
Street.
know. I
Christmas
wanted to
time.
go. I never went.
Oh my god, it's so good on stage. I would say, of the... Okay, so now, brief tangent. I would say,
the Broadway.
of the,
we should do this with the Broadway shows. That's something.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I would say, of the Broadway ones, Beauty and the Beast probably takes it for me. It's just really... It's just so good on stage. There's so many good opportunities for, theatrical magic in it. The transformation scene, the level of production number that Be Our Guest is, and seeing human life-size people as the objects is so cool. The costuming is so fun. I love seeing the way that they do.
King?
Yeah.
Oh, Lion King is so
it's incredible. It's incredible. It's amazing. Yeah. I just like people more
than
animals.
I know you do.
But it is excellent. I would put Lion King probably second, honestly, because it's excellent.
Great.
Yeah, but the part in Belle, the opening number, when she sings the reprise where it's da 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 da, I want adventure in the great. They fly the whole set out and all the set pieces of town square disappear and whatever, and then the whole thing opens up and she's in this huge field and it's, that's really cool.
That's great.
Yeah, it's very good.
I mean, I've always wanted to see it.
It's awesome.
If that tour is coming here, I definitely want to go.
Period. Yeah.
We're going.
Yeah, excellent. Well,
oh my god. Should we take a break?
Sure, let's take a break.
Okay, great.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
And we're back. All right, it's our favorite time of the week. Nikki's going to start us off this week.
First. Mine, of course, I think obviously we're going to go along the lines of Disney live action.
Sure.
And mine is a casting question. Well, it's a casting drink or drag. And I would say, I'm curious to know your thoughts on the casting choice. So do you drink it or do you drag it for the casting of, I think, both Princess Jasmine and Aladdin in the Aladdin remake? Because I feel like I've got some thoughts about it.
Well, there's a couple pieces to that there. One is as we said already, since Agrabah is kind of a made-up place, it's how do you split that fence of you want to cast someone who's quote-unquote authentic to that, but also it's imaginary. So
yeah,
it's one of those things where it's I wish they did really pick a lane and we're yes, this is solidly, India or solidly, the Middle East or something, but they didn't really. So it kind of makes it hard. That said, I'm I don't know, if I'm going to drag it, who would I put in those roles otherwise?
Fair.
It's
tough.
So
I feel like I wish that they had picked no names, but like you said, in just a lane that made sense with a time and place.
Yeah. My maybe controversial to you take is I'm gonna drink to it because I don't have as many problems with the live action Aladdin as you do.
Love it.
I do like it. Yeah, I don't love it. It's definitely not. I think it was rated appropriately in our rankings.
Yeah.
But I think that they did fine.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, just in the animated version, I'm we're all here for the genie, really. Anyway, he's the one kind of carrying it. It's not even really a true Disney princess movie because it's not really her story. it's supposed to be Aladdin's story. He's like the protagonist, but all the entertainment's really coming from
The genie.
the genie. So,
Yeah, that's so true.
I don't know. It's sort of irrelevant how they do, but I think it's fine, so I'll drink to it.
Okay, that's fair. I guess I will too.
Mine's even broader, and I have a feeling I know what your answer is going to be, but I might challenge you a little on it, which is that, like, how do you drink or drag just, like, the idea of them doing these live-action adaptations at all? I think, it's very easy to write them off as being like, they should just leave well enough alone and not redo them, whatever. But as we said, there's a lot of really solid ones on this list. Like, we had a hard time with some of these decisions, and where we ended up was great, so.
I think I'm kind of like, of the mindset, make what's good. If the material's good, if the live action version that they're bringing to the table really, like, elevates the OG, like, gives us newness, gives us, like, amazing, like, production design and visuals, and the music is still really, really good and strong, then I'm like, yes, give us a live action remake. However, I just don't, sometimes I feel like they're just pushing out, like, product and pushing out, like, movies to give us content, and just because they are, like, are on such a, like, tight, like, schedule, and, like, just being so corporate sometimes, how Disney is, but, like, I think if they maybe just, like, slowed down and, like, took their time with it, and then just, like, really brought to the table, like, things that they felt really great about, I'm, like, all for it, but I also just don't think it's smart to remake a movie just for the sake of it. Like Snow White, for example, I know we haven't seen it yet, but I'm just like, for me, like, I definitely don't need a remake of that movie.
Yeah.
Like, that movie is literally, like, from the 30s. How do you make that movie modern and, like, relevant when times are so different? Like, it's just not gonna make sense in 2025, in my opinion. So, like, why are we trying to do that? So, I guess I will drink to the fact that, like, yes, they should sometimes do that, if it makes sense, but, like, not all the time, I guess.
Prime example, Hercules, I think would translate and will translate beautifully
I think
to a
so
live
too.
action. I think it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we'll see. Turning on the casting choices.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. I also think, like, the production of it all is going to be huge, too. Like, it needs to be, like, Greek mythology.
Do it up.
Like, they need to really, like, lean in and make it that.
Yeah. I'm hype. Yeah. Moana, on the other hand.
I'm like, wow, they're really just giving us...
Putting some more slop in the trough.
Giving us more Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson doing the exact same thing he does in the animated movie, like, with the same exact outfit, tattoo. Why are we doing that?
That one just feels so...
That feels so wrong.
What are we doing here?
That feels so wrong to me. Yeah, it's such a money grab.
Yeah, it's
not great. Hate.
Well, now we'll close with our favorite song from the new Moana. Oh, wait.
I have no idea.
Don't know what any of them are.
Yeah, no, it's really... Snooze bell.
So, anyway.
Okay.
Well...
That was fun.
Next week, we'll be coming to you with our review of the new live-action Snow White.
For better or for worse.
I mean, I am really... The bar is on the floor.
Yeah.
Like, I already have very low expectations. So
I feel like, so we're gonna go see it and then record right after. So should we just do, like, a nice early matinee?
From the parking lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Of the movie tavern.
Oh my god, yes.
I'm waiting on a wish beneath a thousand treetops. Maybe.
Chicken fingers.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Some pizza.
Well, I would be remiss if we didn't take this opportunity before we wrapped up just to say we've made it to a dozen episodes.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like a big milestone.
That is. I feel like it is. The Dirty Dozen.
Yeah, we really did it. And I feel really happy.
Subscribe.
Like and subscribe. All of it. Rate and review. Comment. Engage. All of the
Hate
things.
us, love us, do whatever the hell you want. I don't give a rip.
I give a rip. Give me your engagement, but only if it's nice. Just kidding. I can take it. Yeah, be mean then if you want. You're entitled to your own wrong opinion.
Right,
I know my opinions are great. It's fine. Yeah.
That's
it.
With that being said,
I'm Eric.
And I'm Nick.
And this was Here's to It.
Yeah. See you real soon.
Bye-bye.
Peace out.